Think about the last time you had a random conversation with a friend. Maybe you mentioned you were craving a specific food, or talking about planning a trip, or even just casually saying out loud that your shoes were old and worn out. And then, within hours, sometimes within minutes, you opened your phone and there it was, an ad for that exact thing, not something similar, not a coincidence, the exact thing you just talked about. So you asked yourself, is my phone listening to me? You searched it online. You found 100 videos telling you that yes, your phone is spying on you through the camera and microphone 24 hours a day. You got scared. And maybe you even put tape over your camera like some kind of digital fugitive. But here's where the real story begins. Because the actual truth, the verified, documented, legally proven truth, is not what most people are telling you. And I promise you, what is actually happening is far more disturbing than a camera secretly watching you. It is not a conspiracy theory. It is not clickbait. It is a real documented system that is operating right now on the phone sitting in your pocket or your hand. And most people have no idea it exists. Stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly what is happening, exactly which settings to change, and exactly why the companies behind your favorite apps have spent billions of dollars making sure you never find out about this. Let us start with what most people believe, because this part is important. The idea that your phone camera and microphone are constantly recording you and feeding that audio to advertisers, Apple, Google, Samsung, Facebook, this idea has been tested multiple times by independent cybersecurity researchers, academic institutions, and investigative journalists. And every time, the same conclusion came back. There is no verified technical evidence that mainstream phone manufacturers or major app companies are running constant audio surveillance on your conversations for ad targeting. Apple and Google have both denied it. Facebook denied it publicly back in 2016, and again multiple times since then. A cybersecurity company called Wandra ran controlled experiments specifically designed to catch phones listening. They had people say specific products and brand names out loud near their phones, with no related searches, no browsing, nothing else, and watched for targeted ads to appear. They did not find evidence of direct audio surveillance. Now, before you click away, I need you to hear what I am about to say very carefully. The fact that your phone is not recording your conversations for ads does not mean you are safe. It does not mean your privacy is intact. It does not mean these companies are not collecting an extraordinary, almost unimaginable amount of data about you. Because the real mechanism, the thing that actually explains why you keep seeing those eerily accurate ads, is something far more sophisticated and far more invasive. And it is completely legal. Here is what is actually happening. A research study published in March 2024, conducted across 3 countries, including the United States, found something striking. Approximately 78% of American participants believed that at least one ad they had received on their mobile device was seemingly connected to a previous offline conversation. 78%. That is nearly 8 out of every 10 people walking around feeling like their phone is reading their mind. And they are not wrong that something strange is happening. They are just wrong about what it is. The advertising algorithms built by companies like Meta, which owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, are not listening to what you say. They are doing something far more advanced. They are watching what you do every second of every day, every app you open, every link you tap, how long you pause on a photo before scrolling, what time of night you check your phone, who you text most frequently, where you physically go based on your GPS, what your friends are buying, what your family members are searching. They are building a psychological profile of you so detailed and so accurate that they can predict what you are about to want before you even know you want it. Think about that. You did not search for new shoes. You did not browse any shoe websites. But the algorithm already knew, because it watched your walking patterns through your phone's motion sensor and detected you had been unusually active, which statistically correlates with worn footwear. Or it noticed that 3 people in your friend network had recently bought shoes. Or it saw that every 6 months, around this time of year, you historically tap on shoe-related content, because you can put tape over a camera lens. You cannot put tape over an algorithm that already knows you better than you know yourself. This is not fiction. This is documented. This is how Meta's advertising system actually works. And here is why this is more disturbing than simple eavesdropping. But wait, because in September 2024, something genuinely alarming came to light. An investigative news organization called 404 Media published a report about a company called Cox Media Group, or CMG. CMG is a major media conglomerate with clients that included some of the biggest tech companies in the world. And this report revealed that CMG had developed and was actively marketing a technology called active listening. According to marketing materials reviewed by 404 Media, active listening was a system that could capture what they called real-time intent data through the microphones of smartphones, smart TVs, and other devices. The pitch to advertisers was that this technology could listen to ambient conversations and use artificial intelligence to identify potential customers based on what they were saying out loud, then deliver targeted ads to those people across digital platforms. When this story broke, Google and Meta immediately distanced themselves from Cox Media Group. Amazon stated it had never worked with CMG as an advertising partner. All three companies cut ties with the firm. The claim by CMG was never independently verified. But here is what makes this story significant. The fact that a company was openly pitching this technology to major advertisers, that it existed as a commercial product being sold, tells you something real about the direction this industry is heading and what some actors in the ecosystem are willing to attempt. Now, let us get to the part of this video that is going to make you look at your phone differently forever. Because whether or not any specific company is actively listening to your microphone at this exact moment, there's a very real, very documented, legally verified problem sitting on your phone right now. And it has nothing to do with conspiracy theories. It is your app permissions. A 2024 investigation by Consumer Reports found that over 60% of mobile users had microphone access enabled for apps that did not require it for core functionality. Over 60%. That means more than half of the people watching this video right now have given at least one app on their phone the ability to access their microphone. And that app has no legitimate reason to have it. Think about what that means. A game you downloaded 6 months ago and never deleted. A shopping app you used once during a sale. A tool you installed for one specific task. These apps are sitting on your phone right now with the permission you gave them without reading to access your camera or microphone at any time, and you have completely forgotten they have it. A cybersecurity investigation by Cyber News identified the apps on Android that request the most dangerous permissions. At the top of the list was a popular caller ID app requesting 29 individual permissions, including location, camera, microphone, calendar access, and contact access, all in one package. WhatsApp, owned by Meta, came in second with 26 permissions. Facebook itself requests 22 dangerous permissions. Instagram requests 19. A global study by Kaspersky involving 15,000 people found that nearly 1 in 4 users always grant apps permission to access their microphone or webcam without thinking twice. 1 in 4. And here is what makes this genuinely dangerous, beyond just advertising. When an app has camera or microphone permissions, that access does not only serve the app's stated purpose. If that app contains malicious code, or if it is acquired by a company with different intentions after you have already installed it, the permission is already granted. You already said yes. And unless you go back into your settings and revoke it manually, that door stays open. The Electronic Frontier Foundation, one of the most respected digital rights organizations in the world, has stated clearly that unnecessary permissions significantly increase the risk of privacy violations, data exposure, and security breaches. This is not speculation. This is documented, expert-reviewed analysis of a real and present threat. Let us talk about TikTok, because this is a documented legal case that proves exactly how serious this issue is. TikTok, owned by the Chinese company ByteDance, agreed to a $92 million class action settlement in the United States. The lawsuit, which combined 21 separate federal cases, alleged that TikTok had collected and stored users' biometric data without proper consent, including face prints and voice prints, in violation of federal privacy laws. The settlement received final approval from a federal judge in Illinois in August 2022, and under the terms of that settlement, TikTok agreed to stop recording users' biometric information, stop tracking their location via GPS without consent, and stop collecting data from videos that users had drafted but never actually posted. Let that last part sink in. Data from videos you recorded but never uploaded, videos you thought you deleted, videos that never left your phone, or so you believed. TikTok was allegedly collecting data from those as well. This is not rumor. This is a legally settled federal case. And TikTok is not alone. Instagram faced questions over a bug discovered in 2020 where the app appeared to be activating users' cameras even when the app was not being actively used. Instagram stated it was a bug, that no photos or videos were taken or shared. Or Apple's iOS 14 update that same year introduced a feature showing a small orange dot whenever an app accessed the microphone and a green dot whenever the camera was active. And users immediately began reporting that apps were lighting up those dots in unexpected moments. These indicators exist precisely because of the documented history of apps accessing hardware they should not be accessing. So what do you actually do about this? Let me give you the exact steps, platform by platform. If you are on an iPhone, go to your Settings app right now, scroll down to Privacy and Security. Inside there, you will see camera and microphone listed separately. Tap on each one. You will see a complete list of every single app on your phone that has ever requested access to that sensor. Go through that list carefully. Ask yourself one question for each app. Does this app genuinely need my camera or microphone to do the thing I use it for? If the answer is no, or even if you are uncertain, toggle it off. Right now. It takes 2 seconds. Your phone will not break. The app will still work for everything that does not require that sensor. And you will have just closed a door that has been sitting open without your knowledge. For Android users, the process is slightly different depending on your version, but the logic is the same. Go to Settings, then Privacy, then Permission Manager. From there, you can tap on camera or microphone and see exactly which apps have access. Android 12 and later versions also include a privacy dashboard that shows you a timeline of which apps accessed which sensors and when. This is an extraordinarily useful tool that most people never look at. Open it. You may be surprised by what you find. Android also introduced a feature in version 12 that is one of the most powerful privacy tools most people have never used. In your quick settings panel, the one you pull down from the top of your screen, there are toggles for camera access and microphone access. When you turn these off, they cut access to those sensors for every app on your device simultaneously. Not just the ones you revoked permissions from, every single one. This is your emergency brake, and it is available to you right now. Beyond permissions, there are several other settings worth addressing immediately. On both iPhone and Android, go through your location permissions. This matters for this conversation because location data is one of the most powerful inputs that advertising algorithms use to build your profile. Every place you go, how long you stay, how often you visit. This data is extraordinarily revealing. Set every app that does not genuinely need constant location access to only while using the app instead of always. And for apps that have no business knowing your location at all, revoke it entirely. On iPhone, go to Settings, Privacy and Security, then Tracking. There's an option called Allow Apps to Request to Track. If this is turned on, apps can request permission to track your activity across other companies' apps and websites. This is the cross-platform surveillance system that allows an advertiser to follow you from one app to another. Turn it off, and audit the list of apps that have already been granted tracking permission. Revoke everyone you are not comfortable with. Let us take a moment to talk about something that does not get discussed enough, because it reframes this entire conversation. The reason all of this data collection is so consequential is not just that it serves you targeted ads. It is the scale of the profile that is being built about you and who else can access it. When an advertiser buys access to a platform's audience, they are not just buying ad space, they are buying the ability to reach people matching extremely specific criteria. Criteria built from the data your phone has been silently collecting. Your political leanings, as inferred from your content consumption, your income bracket as estimated from your neighborhood, your spending patterns, your lifestyle signals, your emotional state as detected from how you use your phone. Whether you're sleeping poorly, whether you have been more isolated, whether you are going through stress, this is all documented capability of modern advertising platforms. A frightening documented example. Algorithms can determine that you and a friend discussed a wedding without listening to a single word of that conversation by analyzing that you were physically together based on location data, that both of you communicated with a mutual contact who had recently been researching wedding venues, and that you had recently paused on wedding-related content in your social media feed. Put those signals together, and the algorithm knows. And within hours, you see ads for suits and dresses and venues, and you think your phone heard you talking about it. It did not hear you. It already knew everything it needed to know before you said a word. There is one more layer to this that very few people talk about, and it is the one that should genuinely concern you the most going forward. The apps on your phone today are not static. They are updated, constantly. And when an app updates, its behavior can change. Silently, without any notification to you, buried in the terms of service that nobody reads. The permission you granted 2 years ago to a flashlight app you installed when you first got your phone is still valid today. After 18 updates, potentially under a different parent company that acquired the app specifically for the data pipeline it provides. This is documented practice. Cheap, free, simple apps, games, tools, utilities are regularly acquired by data broker companies. These data brokers do not care about the app. They care about the installed base. They care about the existing permissions. They care about the microphone access, the camera access, the location access that millions of users already granted and then completely forgot about. This is why the habit of auditing your app permissions is not a one-time task. It needs to be something you do regularly. Once a month, at minimum, go through your installed apps. Delete anything you have not used in the last 30 days. For everything that remains, check what permissions it has and ask whether it genuinely needs them. This single habit will do more for your digital privacy than any VPN advertisement or privacy-focused browser. Let us also briefly address smart assistants, because this is a real and documented concern separate from the advertising surveillance discussion. Siri, Google Assistant, Alexa, these systems are always listening for their wake words. That part is not a conspiracy. That is how they function. What has been documented and verified is that these systems do sometimes activate accidentally, recording snippets of conversation they were not intended to capture. In 2019, Bloomberg News published a verified report revealing that Facebook had contracted an external company to transcribe audio conversations conducted through the Facebook Messenger app. Facebook confirmed this and stopped the practice after the report was published. Amazon, or Apple, and Google have all faced documented cases of contractors reviewing audio recordings captured by their smart assistants, in most cases framed as quality control for improving the voice recognition system. These companies have faced regulatory scrutiny over this practice in multiple countries. This is not surveillance in the traditional sense, but it is real, documented access to audio from your devices that most users did not knowingly consent to when they read the terms of service. Or more accurately, when they did not read the terms of service. Let us bring this home. You're not being watched by a shadowy figure in a server room staring at a live feed from your camera. That is not the threat. The threat is quieter than that. It is more patient. It is more sophisticated. It is a system that has been built over 2 decades, optimized through billions of dollars of investment, and designed from the ground up to be invisible to the people it observes. The data being collected from your phone right now, your location, your behavior, your habits, your social connections, your emotional patterns, is being used to build a version of you that exists inside a database somewhere. A version of you that advertiser can target, that political campaigns can influence, that insurance companies can potentially use to assess risk, that future employers might one day access through data brokers whose existence you have never heard of. And the door to most of that data collection was opened by you. Not by a hacker, not by malware, by you when you tapped allow on a permission request without reading it on an app you downloaded because it was free. The good news is that you can start closing those doors today. Go into your settings. Review your app permissions, camera, microphone, location, tracking. Revoke everything that does not have a clear, legitimate reason to have it. Delete apps you no longer use. Make this a monthly habit. Use the hardware kill switches on Android when you want complete confidence that no app can access your camera or microphone regardless of permissions. These steps will not make you invisible. The advertising machine is deep and complex and operates across dozens of signals beyond just your phone's hardware, but they will significantly reduce your exposure. They will close doors that have been standing open without your knowledge. And most importantly, they will remind you of something that the entire digital economy has spent enormous resources trying to make you forget. You are not just a user, you are a product, and your data is the inventory. Now go check your settings.